Welcome to the Christian and Daniel Show.
It's about to get real, well, you know the deal. You won't have to guess how either of them feel. Bringing up the things you don't think to know. Never knowing where the conversation will go. Just a little more than anything goes. It's a Christian and Daniel Show.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, everyone. I'm Christian.
And I'm Daniel.
And this is My Show and
And
Daniel.
my show.
It's the My Show and My Show.
And my show. It's the mine and mine. Or the mine and meal.
There you go. Cara mia.
How you doing, babe?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
I, Caracas and Maracas and tacos. Happy Margarita Day.
Feliz nachos to you.
I know. Enchiladas and enchiladas.
I think I want to go to Taco Bell.
The true Mexican food.
So that's why I'm wearing my Lone Star State shirt, which
That's
I have to
Havana.
say. Thank you, Madeline Longoria, for the T-shirt. This is from her, a gift from her. But it's Cinco de Mayo, and not only do we celebrate Cinco de Mayo today,
Cinco de Mayo, Cinco de Mayo, Cinco de Mayo. Bésame mucho, ¿cómo está?
we're gonna have to sing that one again. You're gonna have to do that one again. But it's also another milestone in our lives today. Cinco de Mayo is the anniversary of my anal cancer.
Yes, Daniel had his anal canceled. No anal.
Today is 6 years. 6 years of my anal cancer diagnosis.
Yes. And weird enough, everything with his cancer has occurred on a holiday.
Yeah.
And so it's not easy. It's like, it's really hard to forget. You're like, oh my God, Cinco de Mayo. It's 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Saludos hasta Monterrey. Buenas noches.
I heard me speaking bad Spanish.
Saludos, compadre. ¿Cómo estás, Jose? And then speaking of compadres, I don't know. There was no. I was trying to make a good segue. I was trying to make a good segue, but it didn't work. We have. First of all, we want to thank our music director, Mr. Kai Kalama,
our artistic director, Checadoria,
and our stage manager, Mr. Gabe Lito, who was our guest host last week.
He was our guest last week, and he was our guest host the week before.
So he's manager, which has now started a new trend because we've gotten people interested.
And we love having them.
I don't know if you guys are like on a mission from God. Is this community service? Like, or what? Oh, there you go. There's any message. ¿Cómo va, Cristian, con español? How are you doing with the Spanish, Christian?
If you heard me a few seconds ago, you just missed it.
This is where you obviously he's encouraged you to say something in Spanish, so please.
I no tengo menor idea.
El mono en la biblioteca con el lápiz. Ay, caramba! But going back, we have had people approach us to want to come and be guests on the show. I guess, again, is this a punishment? Did you lose a bet? And if that's the case, our guest today lost the bet, and she's made it onto the show. We have Kristal Kent. I've talked about her. I've mentioned her and other stuff. She is the founder of the Fibro Pain Chronicles. And she's a really good friend of mine, a fellow advocate, and just an amazing person. Miss Kristal Kent, welcome to the show.
Oh, hola.
How is your Spanish, Kristal Kent?
No hablo español.
No.
No, señor.
No Spanish here. Not very well. I mean, I know some curse words in Spanish. That's about it.
Which I think they pull aside all the non-Latino kids, like in high school. Do they do that? Do they pull y'all aside?
I learned in the military.
Oh, that's right. I forget the part. Well, for the folks that don't know you, do you want to introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I'm Kristal. I worked a long time in social services, human services. I served in the Army and got hurt there. So they're like, bye-bye. We got to get rid of you. You're not deployable anymore. And it triggered a lot of like issues, and I developed fibromyalgia. And so then I realized that there wasn't a lot of updated information or support for those living with fibromyalgia, especially veterans with fibromyalgia. So I started advocating in that space, and then here I am.
Awesome. We're very happy to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us.
Like Daniel just said, like that girl talk show on SNL. He's all awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. That's awesome.
This is nice.
Oh my goodness, everyone. Big news for Daniel and I, little news for the rest of the world. Daniel is now the president of Little Mexican Productions, Inc.
Oh.
And I am the vice president of Little Mexican Productions, Inc. We are officially a corporation.
Yay!
So, woo, yay! Celebrate!
Awesome. So technically, this is the first show under the Inc. label.
The Little Mexican Inc. Little Mexican Productions, Inc.
Yeah,
or
so
better known as LPI.
LPI Network.
So you're big time. You're big time, big time.
Ooh,
Could that be a thing?
No.
Let's put that into the world, into the manifestation, to the universe.
Yes.
Universe, can we have LPI network, please? Can we do that? We already got 3 shows on, so we just need to produce other shows now. So there's this. I just got chills. I'm gonna cry. This is so cool. Like, thank you, Edward. Edward Rivera, how are you doing, sir? Long time no see. Edward and I used to do promos together, so it's a good friend of mine. Yeah, wow. Well, I was listening to you guys talk a little bit while I was setting up. While I was working.
Oh, you mean you were eavesdropping on our conversation?
Yeah. So
eavesdropping.
Diana, hi Diana. Diana
Hi,
was
Diana.
a guest on Putting Together Conversations last weekend. So excellent show. If you have not watched that one,
Excellent
go back
show,
and check it out.
excellent guest.
Excellent guest. But as I was listening to you guys talk before the show started.
Wait, hold on. Did I say anything bad?
No. Actually,
since he's an eavesdropper, I'm sure he would have told us right away.
Because y'all were talking about, you were talking about superpowers and stuff, but
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, and Kristal, you kind of mentioned it in the pre-show, superpowers. So for the audience out there too, if you could have the universe came down and said, "Hey, I'm giving you a superpower," what superpower would you have?
Well, based on the conversation that Christian and I were having.
Yes, the one that you eavesdropped on.
I decided I could have a superpower. It would be karma retribution. And then y'all can remember that for later on. Later.
Karmic retribution.
We were talking about something, and then I was like, oh, that would be a great superpower. But you know what? It's also a superpower that can go wrong because you might not be fully objective, and then you become evil, or you could be good, or it just depends on the type of day I'm having. Karma, I don't know. That would be a fun. I don't know. I would be like, and you get karma, and you get karma, and you get a lot of bad karma over there, buddy. You know. And
my question would be: would you go back and find people that did you wrong?
No, because the way karma works is they might have already gotten their retribution. Now, this is good Kristal talking. So, over time, I don't know how I might be swayed by this power, but good Kristal right now would be like, No, they probably got their retribution or it's already in the works. And if I mess with that, I can totally throw off the whole system. So it would just be moving forward. But just don't catch me in a bad day.
Okay. And for you, Christian?
I don't know, Daniel. What did you hear in when you were eavesdropping on our conversation? Because I don't believe I said anything.
Well, I was only really interested in what Kristal had to say, so
Obviously.
I didn't listen to what you said.
Yeah,
so.
and unfortunately, I didn't say any power, but I'm trying to think.
Well, that's what I said. You didn't say anything.
What I want.
I'm just stuck in the middle. Okay.
Christian's like, why are Daddy and Daddy fighting? So what would be your superpower?
Right now, his superpower is going to be if looks could kill. That would be it.
Mm-hmm. I want my. I don't know. I'm greedy. I don't want just one power, but I think if I had to choose one, I think it'd be kind of cool to be able to become completely invisible. The things you could do, the things that can happen with being invisible. And the things you'd see when people don't think anyone's watching them.
That's true.
People do the worst stuff when they think no one's paying attention.
I mean,
and then I'd call my karmic retribution buddy. You need to get down here. He's a dick. But don't act like I'm not here. He hasn't seen me.
Gotta take care of this dude first.
This guy needs to be taken care of.
Well,
see? Complementary powers.
With my last name being Kent, I didn't want to go with the typical. So you want to hear something kind of fun with that? So, Clark Kent is the alias for Superman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who published Superman first? Which comic?
DC.
That's correct. The biological father's initials are DC.
Oh.
And I live in Cleveland, and that's where Superman has been created.
I didn't know that. Wow.
So
and his cousin Supergirl has blonde hair. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So are you related to this? What are the super family? Is that what you're trying to tell us here?
The fictional Kents that aren't fictional. They only said that to keep us all off the trail.
Superhero never reveals their secrets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just for the folks, because I mean, based on what I know about you, you've dealt with a lot. So I would not.
She is super.
I'm just saying.
Well, I said it, Kristal, not Daniel. Daniel said that.
Whatever. So I think that because I'm already intuitive and I can read people's energy, I would like my superpower would be to. I would want to say read people's minds, but I kind of do that already. So I think I would.
What am I thinking right now then?
You're thinking that you're going to order me something really delicious for dinner and have it sent to my house. That's what you.
That's so interesting. He's absolutely wrong. He can be further from what I was thinking. What I was thinking would have precluded me from having to order you food ever again.
I think I would want the superpower to grant one wish. I would want to grant one wish to people.
That could be devilish.
That could be hard. Well, there's a disclaimer, like you can't wish for more wishes,
And you can't wish for love. You can't wish to make someone love you or you to love something. You can't.
Right. Or the power.
Because that turns into obsession and cuckoo bird stuff.
What kind of power has parameters on it, though?
Well, it's like the genie in the bottle. They usually there's some type of parameters for that. You can't just wish like, I want the world to end now. Because there have to be limitations. I mean, otherwise, I don't know, maybe not. Itty bitty house, incredible universal power.
I just say then it'd be kind of like a neutral power because someone makes a wish, you're not responsible for the aftermath. So like if I said I want $1 million, I get $1 million, but the consequence could be like I inherited $1 million because someone died.
Yeah, exactly. You have, just like with genies, you have to be very, like, so unbelievably specific because anything could be twisted.
I'd have to I would get an attorney to make a wish. I'd be like, I would want to win $1 million where no one dies, and it's not because of medical malpractice or a car accident. Like there would be a whole litany, and by the time I'd be done with my wish, you would fall asleep because I'd be.
Because that's assuming that you don't miss something.
All right, so we have one on the board. Julieta, hi Julieta, welcome to the show. Good to see you. Mine would be bringing joy and taking pain away from anyone.
Aww.
Like a cabanita magic trick. Oh, like a little bell magic trick. Ooh, that would be cool.
Not for you, Daniel, for herself. Not thinking about you. It's always you, me.
That would be cool. That would be like.
You already said you wanted to be a genie, basically.
But okay, so I like Julieta's, but
hello, back to me.
But you know the one wish comes with universal Latin rules, because you have to remember that every wish, you know, I talk about this when I do card Devo. Every action has a reaction, and every reaction has to be balanced. So for every good, there has to be a bad. So yes, Kristal is right. Like if I wish for $1 million, how did I get that? Did somebody die for it? And then what is the effect of that? And if I give somebody money and then they quit their job or something, you know what I mean? Like everything has a trickle. Everything has a triple. So trickle effect. So you have to think about that. I know I'm getting very deep into this, but
you mean butterfly effect, not a trickle effect. Trickle effect is what afflicts old men. The butterfly effect. Hello.
Oh my goodness.
Hello. Am I the only one who came to work today?
For everybody watching, this is the Kristen and Daniel show. Today, our guest is the amazing Kristal Kent.
Yes.
If you're watching us on Facebook, please join the conversation. All of our friends on LinkedIn, you can also be part of this. Our friends on YouTube, please scroll down, hit that subscribe button, and like this video. And all of our friends on Twitter, will you please retweet the show for us? And so other folks can watch it. But thank you for joining. The question on the board right now is,
and people from YouTube can also join the conversation, by the way.
Yes. If you
say that.
The question on the board is, if you could have a superpower, what superpower would it be? And I said I would grant a wish. Christian said,
yes, Daniel. What did Christian say?
What?
Invisible.
Christian wants to be invisible, and Kristal wants. Well, I would say like super karma. Then you because I keep okay. So I'm getting really deep into this because I'm thinking
retribution.
Yes, like the grand karma universe would come down and go, Kristal, I am granting you the power of karma, and like a cake. Oh my God, it's cake! You already have the pay for karma. It wouldn't be KKK because we wouldn't go there. But
the KKK is going to be
a totally different show. That's a totally different show. But
Super K.
Super K, yeah. But oh my God,
Special K.
Want to tell us?
Special K.
Special K.
That was the late '90s club drug.
Oh boy! Well, I'm sitting there thinking of the cereal, and you're going straight.
It's the sign of the age. That's how old we are.
Not that much different in age, but
no, we aren't. No, not. I don't think any of us are. We're all Gen Xers, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah. So we know. We knew the '90s club scene. Hello, yeah. We were there. I was not old. Yeah.
So for everybody watching,
I'm lucky I made it through that scene that I am able to be old.
So for the folks watching at home, if you want to join us in the conversation and tell us what superpower you would have and why you would pick that, we'll show it down.
Julieta's power was cool.
Yeah, I like that. Bringing joy and taking pain away. That would be cool.
I mean, come on. Like, of course, what I've learned is that there is something that wonderful and positive. There can be a dark side to that too. It's like you have to be such the right person for that power, because you could also use that to cover up something really negative or something horrible that you did and make everyone feel good about it and happy so they don't think anything's wrong. Oh, that's
cool. There's a good point. Like you do something bad and you're just like, no,
no one's unhappy about it.
My question would be, are we talking physical pain or emotional pain? Because we learn from emotional pain. I mean, it's part of growing. You need emotional pain to develop and learn. And
well, we've proven with younger generations that if you deny them the emotional pain, you pay the price, a high price. Because empathy is part of what you learn when you experience emotional pain and have to figure out your way through it. Because once you've experienced a certain type of emotional pain, you learn to empathize with other people who have felt that pain. But if you've never felt it, you can't relate to it. Empathy is going to be really hard to garner. And if you've been taught not to be necessarily the most empathetic person to begin with,
you can't be Superman. You can't be Superman, Michael. Sorry. My family's had a stake on that.
So, Michael, you're still in the game, but we need a unique superpower to you. And Julieta has an answer for us. She's right. There is a risk in taking pain away.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I hadn't thought of it till you said this, Julieta. Like I never thought about if you deny children developing human beings, let's say developing human beings, feeling pain because you want to be that really great parent and you don't want your kids to go through what you might have gone through, and things like, all those type of thoughts that go into parenting, you could really harm your child more than help them by protecting them too much. Because then they don't develop their own sense of empathy and understanding.
Right. And kids they need disappointment, because if they don't experience that, then they don't basically develop coping skills to learn how to deal with it or how to overcome it. I don't know. But that, it's
a big thing. Like it's crazy. It's a little scary, actually.
It is. Well, and then earlier we were talking about, which kind of ties in, that you were telling me about, what was it, the pound 626 to block spammers from calling you, and you said you saw it from some teenager on TikTok, and I said that's amazing. Like they can't make mac and cheese, but they have figured out how to block spammers from calling you. Or
Yeah, it's true. You give a box of mac and cheese, you're like, yes.
Or they don't know how to turn the stove on if you don't verbally tell them. I have a friend that everything is like that, and I'm like, what are y'all gonna do? What are your kids gonna do when the power goes out and you can't tell Alexa to do stuff for you? I mean,
Alexa, start the stove.
Isn't that why you got a gas stove? So if the electricity went out, you could still cook, but Alexa's not going to work because the battery dies and there's no power. Yeah. So how's that? You know what? They're not prepared for the zombie apocalypse. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Julieta had a response for us on there. She says, then I would switch to the power of truth, knowing the truth for any lie, maybe similar to the reading minds, but only for lies. Well, as a mom, don't you already have that superpower?
Oh, yeah. I think moms have. My mom, I couldn't lie to my mom. I thought I could, but I couldn't. She knew everything. She even told me towards the end of her life, she even said, you never really fooled me, right? And I'm kind of like,
okay, yeah. I think because my mom had this thing that she would tell me when I was a teen. So when I started doing bad things behind people's backs and everybody thought it was so sweet, my mom would say before I go to bed, she's like, well, I'm like, I'm going to bed. She's like, okay, are you good to go to bed? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, okay, well, if you can go to bed, put your head on the pillow and not have any remorse or have anything to say, go ahead. Like I'll if I'll see you in the morning, if I die, then your last thing you said to me was a lie, and I'd be like, I'm so sorry, I did this, and that's how my mom would catch me.
That's how reverse psychology there. She owned it.
But she was a Catholic Latina, so then our household that was total legit. That was right.
Yeah, my mom had told me. She goes, you never fooled me, right? I'm like, okay, thanks, thanks. It's one of those things. Like my mom was she and I were very connected, so I wasn't much that she didn't know, that she didn't get or figure out. Like she always asked me when she said, "How are you doing?" Even without seeing me, just on the phone, "How are you doing?" I'd be, "Oh, I'm doing good," and she'd be like, "Okay, so what's wrong?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, this woman." She just knows. Even when I fake my voice, she knows it.
I could totally see a TV show coming from, is it Julietta's comment?
Yeah.
Like, imagine knowing the truth, like your boss isn't telling, or the president or a doctor. I was like, there could be a total TV show where there's one human being that knows all the truth and is trying to go and get the truth and stop the liars, and no one, I could totally see it being like some type of drama.
Oh, yeah.
So we can call her Super Luna. Super Luna, this doctor's lying to me. And she would just, like, I got you. That's all I have. That's
okay.
That's where it is.
Hey!
Shut up, you two. I saw you supporting him. I felt the energy. Okay, Michael has one for us. Fine. Don't know if this is a power, but power of having no fears. No fear of public speaking, needles, snakes, sharks, or now being like younger Gabe with fears of girls.
Oh, that's great.
Where is Gabe? I prepared Gabe tonight. I brought my A game. No, I brought my K game. Where is he?
I don't know. He hasn't checked in today.
I have a special trophy for him if he got way out of whack. Where is he?
Watch him come in like 5 minutes before the show ends, and he'll jump in.
Exactly. Go figure.
But yeah, no fear would be pretty cool. So my question to Michael would be, would your superpower would be to you only have no fear, or do you grant somebody like an hour of no fear? Like if I called on Super Michael, like, Super Michael, I'm afraid of heights, and then he would swoop in and for like an hour give me a superpower so that I wouldn't be afraid of heights. You know what I mean? Like how would this work? I'm really getting invested in this superpower.
Oh, I would like totally make it like you're going to be terrified of heights.
That's my
Oh my Lord, you're going to be shaking so much you're going to lose control of your bladder. You're going, that'd be so much fun.
There's a callback to last week. That's my chowder.
That's my chowder.
People are like, what? What? It's a long story.
Yeah. If you weren't here last week, please go back and watch last week's episode. And that's my chowder is going to make all
that's my chowder. Not and that's my chowder. That's my chowder.
That's my chowder.
That's why Gabe's not here. He's trying to copyright that.
I know, right?
Come back and sue us. He's gonna come back and sue us for saying it tonight. Yeah, he'll be like, I got the copyright.
Oh,
I know, it's mine. It's all mine now.
Okay. So the other question that I have on my notes is, what is the most annoying thing about yourself that you identify? Like,
hey, I think you should go first on this one. I don't want to tell you. I think you need to say it yourself.
The most annoying thing about me is I'm bossy. Controlling?
Yes.
We did the head nod at this thing. We were both like,
Y'all couldn't just let me have bossy, could you? Trademark.
Oh,
there he is. There's Gabe.
Of course.
That's my chowder.
He was Michael says he's his first annoying
Okay, so Daniel is a control freak. That was what he was answering his own question.
Yes, I am a control freak, but it's because there are things
everyone's not good enough.
because they're no, it's not that I don't think y'all can handle yourselves. I mean, I don't think it out loud. It's just that there's a lot of details to look at, and somebody needs to. You know what? I'm going to move on to one of y'all. So one of y'all, Michael said procrastination. That's his most annoying thing, and that's Machada.
You're backwards. Your name is backwards, so it's Chowda my that's what up.
Okay, so I'm sweating now. So what would you say your most annoying feature is?
Who's who you talking
Sorry,
about?
I had sirens going by. I didn't want to share them with the world.
Whoever wants to go next.
Okay, so the question was, how amazingly perfect are we, and what is our most perfect trait?
If you had to dig deep to
Very
find one thing that could possibly be wrong with you, what would it be? And that's the question for the audience too.
Too cute. That's one. Too adorable.
Maybe mystical? I don't know.
I think it might be completely content being lazy.
Yes.
Complete contentedness doing nothing.
And
I
you're
definitely think that's
fine with that.
it. Kind of falls under the same thing as Michael said, procrastination, because sometimes the fear leads to procrastination.
Did you mean?
Yeah, and it looks like Klingon.
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe he's gotten the award early on in our segment here for being amazingly
Extra.
Da, da, da.
Most extra
These are
award
jazz.
for Gabe.
E-bag.
Oh. Michael says there's times that he's too gullible. Oh.
No, there isn't, Michael. I doubt that.
I'm too handsome.
Absolutely, E-bag. You are too handsome.
Too handsome.
Extra.
And humble.
Extra.
Yes, because people who are humble always make sure you know it.
They want you to know.
Because they're so humble.
Here's Coleta. Mine is also that one control freak. Everybody needs to have a plan and be doing something all day long.
Control freak.
Yeah. Michael Naive. That
I don't know. I don't think so.
I
haven't seen that in him.
No. I will. I mean,
I continue to disagree with you, Michael. You are not gullible. You are not naive. I don't think so.
Remember, the question
I think
is
you're young. I think being young, but that doesn't mean, I guess you could say naivete comes with youth, but I don't know. I think you've had a lot of experiences. I don't think you're...
But remember, the question is, what do you think is the most annoying thing about
That's true. That's true.
So that's what he thinks.
And since
so did we get
completely agreed with me.
The crystals. Wait, I didn't hear what you said.
I didn't say anything.
Okay, Daniel. She hasn't said anything yet. Control freak.
I was thinking what
I better watch out because she's gonna throw karma back at me, and I better be careful.
Yeah, karmic retribution, man.
I'm actually thinking of what my mom complains about me. That's annoying. So, well, me personally, like I could be. It sounds weird because I'm chronically fatigued all the time, but in certain situations where I kind of have to be like on, I can be like too loud or too just I'm there. I'm there. And it annoys me as well that once I get into something, like my mind on something, it's like I become obsessed with it. It's kind of like hard to explain. So like if I'm going to learn something, I don't just learn it. I don't just learn like the surface of it. I mean, I dive down deep into the
Deep
darkest
dive.
cavern of the world type of deep. Like it's a good trait, but it's annoying at times because it could be annoying to other people, and it's annoying to me because I'm always like, just I get focused on it, and it's not an obsession. It's just I've always been like that. When I want to learn something, it's all in. That's it, and it become my focus. That will be like my sole focus at the moment, and everything else I'm like, and that's the sole focus. So that could be annoying. I don't know. I have a lot of flaws, and depending on the person, I have different flaws.
I still, I'll be, I mean, in all honesty, it's control. I like having control of things. Oh, we have somebody new on the board. Hi, Al. Welcome to the show. I agree with Kristal.
Al is, he's part of my team over at Veteran Voices for Fibromyalgia. And he's an Air Force veteran, and he helps out a lot behind the scenes with VVFF. And you should be working on the video, not on here chatting with us, Al. He's going to be like, ah!
You shouldn't be supporting me. You should probably be doing something else.
Support me here. Support me and do the video.
Oh, Jan.
It's cracking the whip. It comes down to he does a lot of editing for me in different videos, and the video coming out next week.
Is that the same Al that was on the emails when we were working on the projects together, or on the?
Yeah, the one that.
Hi, Al. Yes.
This is the same Al. Yeah. So
Al, I support you. Thank you for being here. You deserve a break today.
He was
Isn't
telling
that
you.
what McDonald's is for?
Yeah, right.
Now, you have to be a certain age to know what I just referenced.
I
if
know,
you're too
right?
young, you absolutely have no idea what I mean.
What is it? For a break today?
Yeah, I actually just saw it again. Okay, I've been watching too much TikTok lately. But someone posted that old 80s commercial where they originally said, "You deserve a break today," but the whole song, and it was a worker who was singing it. Like, "Hi, welcome to McDonald's. Come on in." Like they ever do that.
You deserve a break today.
Yeah, it was like this whole. It was so 80s. Like today, the commercial would never work. Everyone would be like, "Oh Lordy, we're changing the channel." It's like 30 minutes in McDonald's.
Let's ask Al. What are my most annoying qualities? And he'll say nitpicky probably right now. We know each other very well, and right now I've been cracking the whip on him because I'm like,
Al,
this and this and this.
Al, you have a pass right now. This is your pass.
It's your turn. I'm allowing you to lash out at all of my pickiness.
This is your safe zone, Al. The question is, what are Kristal's most annoying traits? And please be honest. Don't worry, we got your back here, brother. We got you.
He's not answering because he's scared.
Oh,
no, he's typing. He's all.
I know. He's like right now.
Don't interrupt me.
Un minuto, por favor.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
Even last night, he was like, "I think you take me too seriously at times." I'm like, "I don't take you seriously. I'm like, okay, you made a joke. Now I need you to do this."
Back to work. Back to work. Please bore someone else with your questions.
How much time do you have?
Oh my God, how much time do I have?
You have 20 minutes before the end of the show.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Here you go, Al. You asked me how you were going to get paid back, how you're going to get paid. Here you go. Leash. Go on.
Right here on the Christian and Daniel show is where you get it. Right here. We got your back. We got your back. Now, if she happens to get her superpower and karma comes back, you're on your own. You can call me and I'll grant you one wish. Yeah, I'll grant you one wish if you want. After this is your wish. This is your one wish, Al.
Yes. I don't know if Al saw the beginning of this, but we were talking about superpowers, and I said that mine would be karma retribution.
And I turned invisible.
And then Christian goes invisible. And Daniel would grant a wish. So Daniel's granting you a wish to tell everybody in the world what are like some of my most annoying things, and I can't do anything because it's a wish until tomorrow.
I love how this is working out. Until tomorrow.
Ecological experiment. Wait, these things we gotta sign off on the consent, unless and liability, unless things get really bad. You guys are Inc. now, so you might want us to be like, hey, yeah, no liability.
Oh, because of liability, yeah, we're not doing that. It just sounded good. We're kidding.
We're all gonna have to start thinking about these consent forms and stuff. So we're gonna.
Yeah. Maybe I'm the one that's being a little extra today. I'm just like.
I'm wondering. We should have NDAs.
Have what?
NDA non-disclosure agreement. We have
they can't disclose anything that happens in the pre-production meetings because
I have NDAs for guys I date.
Oh, I think that's smart.
I
Can't talk about me.
don't have anybody I date. I don't date anybody.
No, I don't want you to talk about me. So if you talk about me, you're going to owe me a whole bunch of money. So shut up.
Other people need to know how fabulous I am on their own. So please don't tell anybody.
Actually, Al is just like typing up about all of that quarters. Don't do it. It's a trap. May the 4th. No, it's not. May the 5th. Cinco de Mayo.
It's Cinco de Mayo. It's Cinco de Mayo today.
Tacos, lime, and sunshine.
Havana.
This is funny. This is too funny.
And Daniel.
Huh?
Tacos, Bubba, sunshine, Havana.
Havana.
Órale, caramba.
And your T-shirt, what does it say?
Mine is... Sorry, I clicked on the wrong button.
Lone Star Tacos.
Mine is...
Texas Tacos.
Mine's a taco truck, and it says Lone Star for Cinco de Mayo.
What is Lone Star?
Which is actually Cinco de Mayo is in Puebla, because really Texas doesn't really celebrate Cinco de Mayo much, so...
People in Texas don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo?
Well, they do, but it's not a real, like...
It's not real. I mean, we know that.
Yeah, I mean...
It's just an excuse about drinking tonight.
Like St. Patrick's Day.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just an excuse.
Ireland don't go nuts. They drink, but that's normal.
So for everybody watching, this is the Christian and Daniel show. Our guest today is the marvelous Miss Kristal Kent, and we've been talking about superpowers and what is the most annoying thing about us.
Well, superpowers run in her family. Hello, the Kent family.
The Kent family.
Hello. Wait.
That's why I don't ever have a date, though. Everybody's scared of me because superpowers run in my family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
he his taco shirt, and I all went all out. Look at me. Do I look like
I don't own a taco shirt.
I know about Cinco de Mayo.
But thank you for calling it out, David. He's actually wearing a Havana shirt today.
Havana. That's as taco as I get.
Because that's the Cinco de Mayo he knows how to get. That's how gringo he is.
I was gonna say.
He thought Cinco de Mayo was from Cuba.
Like anyone in Cuba cares about the 5th of May. I know.
Listen, Al is writing a novel about me right now.
I know. I wish you could see the dots.
He's
gonna send a pie chart with percentages on what is
he's gonna graph. He's gonna be like, by Wednesday she's like this, and by Friday, and then forget Saturday, folks. She's
God. So while Al gets his pie chart ready for us, how about we go into our picks of the week? Do you want to start, Christian?
Christian, he, him. Did you have to look at the screen to say my name?
No, somebody posted a comment, but before I posted, I was.
Well, go ahead and put it up.
More of Drinko de Mayo. Drinko de Mayo, yeah. That's really what it is.
I think that's why I heard more police cars.
Now that we have the show an hour and a half earlier, we actually have time to order food early. So I am going to order some tacos for dinner. So
I
ordered pizza.
Again, that's how gringo he is.
That's Cinco de Mayo for me.
You could get Mexican pizza. Like we would have in like school fiestadas, and they're totally not Mexican, but they're delicious.
Yes, no, that sounds great.
It's just like the dough and chili and cheddar cheese and a little spice, and they would call it
Oh,
fiestadas.
yeah. I can tell you the restaurant I ordered from, they actually have street taco pizza. A street taco pizza. I didn't read the description, but I bet it's pretty good.
So it's either a pizza crust with taco filling or a taco shell with pizza filling.
Which would be interesting.
Because usually it has beans, sauce, meat, and then they top it afterwards. They top it with lettuce and tomatoes.
That could be good.
And it's like a taco. It's not a completely horrible, but it tastes like a pita bread.
With a pita, like
like a taco
made out of pita
bread meshed. Yeah, it's very awkward. It's very awkward.
Yeah. Well, I could tell you.
I was gonna say like my date last week.
Ooh.
I didn't know.
Well, I'm in Laguna Beach. We don't have like taco trucks.
They don't have culture in Laguna Beach.
No, we're very gringo here, so it doesn't. Does Kristal work in theater or television? She looks familiar. Oh, that's for you, Kristal.
Why, yes.
I don't know why I look familiar.
Thank you.
I don't know why. Theater, I mean, years and years and years ago, I'm kind of all over social media, so maybe that's where.
Maybe, yeah. And
Might be.
Y saludos a Monterrey. Buenas noches a todos.
Hola, Monterrey. Monterrey.
All right. So are we ready? Are you ready, Christian?
Daniel didn't even acknowledge it. Thanks.
No, Monterrey. I heard your R's. You said your R's.
Thanks.
All right, folks. It's that time of the hour.
Yes. My show is a show called The Girl from Nowhere, and it is on Netflix. And season 2 starts, I think, next week on the 14th. But it's a crazy show from Thailand. It's dubbed or you could watch it in the original language with subtitles, depending on how you like it. So I like actually hearing the actors' voices, not the dubbed voices. But anyway, it's really good. It's about this girl named Nona, or is it Nona? I think it's pronounced Nona. And she goes around to these different schools with these different students. And she kind of just like ekes out karmic justice, where there's groups of kids or a kid who have done something dastardly in the past, and they're owed a karmic retribution. And she comes in and she kind of makes sure that karmic retribution happens. And sometimes she becomes the victim of what they do, and sometimes she orchestrates something to where they get exposed. But it is so interesting. It's like a twisted type of show that you just don't see on American cinema and TV does not do this type of show. And it would be an awesome show. And it's just called The Girl from Nowhere. And The Girl from Nowhere season 2 is popping up, coming up next week. She does this all alone in the first season. And then the very last episode twists all the way back to one of the earlier episodes from the beginning of the season. It is awesome. It is just awesome. If you like seeing people get their just desserts, this show's it.
That's the show you're telling me about, why I came up with the karma retribution superhero power. So for myself this week, I actually watched and I really liked Things Heard and Seen on Netflix. It stars Amanda Seyfried. So at first I kind of just put it on thinking, it's going to be like one of those this house is haunted type of things, but it's actually a little bit more in depth, but not super scary. So that if you're not really into thrillers or scary movies, this one I'm going to say is scary movie light. And it's interesting because I don't want to give too much away, but she's married. They end up moving for her husband's job, and the house that they moved to, in a sense, brings to light some of the stuff about her husband, and it's interesting with a bit of a plot twist. It's not, like I said, it's not over the top scary. It's not like cheap thrills or scares. I would say it's more of like a light suspense thriller. And so I liked it because I started watching it thinking, oh, it's going to be cheesy, a cheesy haunted house movie, and it actually had a good plot to it. So.
So my pick of the week is Caught on Camera. It's actually like in its third or fourth season, and it's a British show. So for those of you that have been following the show for a while, know that I really like reality, like thrillers and killer shows. But this is really all about the CCTVs in London and around, and how they catch thieves and robbers and assaults, and how the people it's basically like 911, but you go into the control rooms and they're watching the people doing the crimes and following them. And it's really interesting how they follow them like through the city until they find where they are and they go arrest them. So if you're into thrillers and following storylines and where people are, go check it out. It's on Netflix. So that is my pick of the week. And we had a couple of questions that popped up. First of all, Maricruz said, muy bien, Christian. So she liked your Monterrey thing. And then David Gonzalez is asking, is The Girl from Nowhere a sci-fi?
No, it's not sci-fi. It might be very, very borderline fantasy, because I believe that the girl is some form of demonic character. Not like she doesn't look like it. She doesn't do evil things, but she makes people pay for their evil acts, which to me is a demonic thing. Like they say, like in Hades, if you believe in such a thing, that you kind of pay the price for all your sins. And that's what she kind of does, but she does it without them having to go to die. It was so good. But yeah, it's not really sci-fi though. I'd say closer to fantasy, a little bit of fantasy.
Cool. And Julieta said she loved Things Heard and Seen. It was so good. I haven't seen it yet. I like Amanda.
List, so I'm going to totally watch it now.
Wayne Kilgo, how are you doing, sir? Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. One of our best buddies. I just love Wayne. He's one of my cool friends. I don't want to end the show. I mean, we still have about 10 minutes to go, but I want to put up the website. And Kristal, can you tell us a little bit about Fibro Pain Chronicles?
Sure. So the Fibromyalgia Pain Chronicles is just one of my hubs where I do a lot of advocacy for people living with fibromyalgia or chronic pain. I do a lot of awareness initiatives. Daniel's been a part of one of them last year. He helped and collaborated on Invisible Disabilities Awareness for National Invisible Disabilities Awareness Week. So I support people living with fibromyalgia, in a positive, proactive way, and try to role model or teach people like how to advocate for themselves and learn about the illness. And I do a lot of like systems and legislative advocacy as well. So yeah, there's the Fibromyalgia Pain Chronicles, and I also have Veteran Voices for Fibromyalgia when Al jumped on earlier and then I kicked him off to get back to work. But so yeah, I advocate on behalf of individuals with fibromyalgia, chronic pain, and veterans as a whole. And I do a lot of projects. That's, different things. So
I guess my question to you would be, can you define what fibromyalgia is, since not everyone may know?
So fibromyalgia was classified as a neurological condition in 2015. It causes widespread chronic pain in all parts of the body, and it's different types of pain. So it's not just, we can have muscle aches, but also have neuropathy pain. It also causes pervasive chronic fatigue, brain fog, so kind of like a cognitive dissonance. It often leads to us developing other medical conditions because it interferes with all of our internal bodily systems. So, it's a whole bunch of fun. Not really, but, when life, gives you bad circumstances, my look on things with fibromyalgia or other things is, okay, here's a negative situation, but I'm not going to have a negative mindset because that's just going to compound and make things worse. And so, yeah, it's a chronic pain, very pervasive. It can be, debilitating at times. And So I advocate on that, but you know, I'm not always boring with the advocacy stuff, and sometimes I do funny things, or I just make fun of myself, and that's how I roll.
Or she comes on the Christian and Daniel show.
Or I come on the Christian and Daniel show.
Yes, and I have to give you kudos. Kristal is one of the hardest working advocates I know. She is constantly on the go, putting out projects, and of course, like any advocacy, we do it because it helps us. But she does so much for the community, and she includes people, which is one of the reasons that I love collaborating with her, because she looks beyond the condition or the diagnosis and reaches out to other communities and says, hey, can you help me deliver the message? And she's one of those people, when she calls, I'm there. Like, what do you need? So I appreciate, and I appreciate you being on the show. We got about 5 more minutes. So
love having you on the show.
Oh, thank you. I love you guys. This is why we're friends, because you're so complimentary.
And by the way, Kristal, I just want to make a note. Every guest has to identify the fact that Daniel's picture behind him is crooked.
It is crooked. Or your camera is.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not the camera. It's the picture.
It is slightly. It's like a little bit.
It's become like an inside joke on the show.
And we have a question before we go. What is the treatment for fibroid pain?
So, well, that varies. They don't really know the etiology or cause of fibromyalgia, so it becomes hard to treat the pain. So depending on the person and how severe, there's different approaches. Some people are prescribed Lyrica, some people are prescribed Cymbalta. So like those are anticonvulsant or antidepressant meds with the theory that it's going to interfere with the central nervous system, sending pain signals. For people such as myself, I'm diagnosed with severe treatment-resistant fibromyalgia. So I go to pain management, and I'm prescribed intravenous infusion therapy. So I get medicines through an IV once a month to break my pain and the flare-ups. Some people are prescribed pain meds. So it's kind of hard because, like I said, they don't know the root cause of it. So for how long it's been around, it's been medically documented since the 1590s. There hasn't been a lot of progression on treatment options or understanding the mechanisms of fibromyalgia. So that's part of the reason why I advocate so much on so many different levels. Hopefully get that changed.
Cool. Well, before you go, let me make some announcements about the channel. For everybody watching, we want to remind you that you are watching us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure that you comment, share, retweet, smash that subscribe button, like us so we can get more likes. We need more subscribers. We also want to remind you that we're on 3 times a week. We have 3 shows on the network. You can catch us on Wednesdays on the Christian and Daniel show, Fridays on the Card Devo, and Saturdays with 2 put together conversation shows. So make sure you catch us on any of the 4 channels. Also reminding you folks that my book is out. You can find it on any of these fine establishments. So Grubby Bunny and the Colors Game is available in any of these places for pre-order. So go check it out. We really appreciate it. Where am I? There we go. But yes, please like us and subscribe and comment. And again, let me put up Kristal's page so you can go, if you have any more questions, go find her and ask her questions there. Anything else before we go? We got a couple of minutes before we're out.
Al never came back. He's still writing.
Now, I don't know
if you put it in a private email. It'll be a DM.
It'll be like.
I don't know if you caught the last one, Julieta. You should really reach out. I'm surprised you folks don't know each other. You and Julieta don't know each other. Julieta is with Johnson & Johnson, and so y'all should connect somehow. So really amazing. She's an amazing supporter of advocates. And Kristal is an amazing advocate, so y'all need to connect somehow. So,
definitely.
Yeah.
I'll send a friend request.
Right there. I still get the angles wrong. Right there. It's like a very twisted Brady Bunch.
Yeah, you could say that again.
I want to also remind all of you watching. Where is it? Oh. Sorry, there you go. Yes. let's meet. Of course, yes, you should meet. Also reminding everybody, we are taking submissions for guest co-host here on the Christian and Daniel Show.
Absolutely. You could come spend time with us online on the show. Yay! Cheers.
So all you have to do is just send us a private message on whatever channel you're watching us on, and we will get in touch with you and let you know how you do it. So, Kristal, I hope you had a good time. Not to put you on the spot, but I hope you had a good time on the show.
And Ubag Odell did show up and got the award.
It's nice. I mean, Daniel, I do a lot of these talks that are more advocacy related, so it's kind of nice just to be on and just chill and have a different conversation and have some fun. Okay.
And yes, the vaccine is not going to make us into androids.
Do what? Oh.
I've seen so much of this fake news about the vaccinations on TikTok. Like these young kids, you're going to be an android. It's making you into a robot. And I'm like, you already are.
We're already robots. We're already robots.
Different.
So, but yes, no, I'm glad you were able to come and enjoy the show and just relax and not have to.
I have to be on, like on.
Exactly.
We loved having you. We hope you come back again.
Anytime you guys want me to come back, I'll come back.
All right, sweet. Well, don't go anywhere. We're going to say goodbye, everybody. Folks, thank you so much for watching. We will see you back next week. Have a good evening.